Hello everyone, welcome to my Whiteout Survival YouTube channel. In today's video, I would like to share my knowledge and discuss about the troops formation guides and tips of Whiteout Survival. Actually, I prepared this content with serious theories and experiments because my audience and fans are requesting this troops formation guide. Alright, so let's start. First of all, I would like to discuss about troops formation for PvP expedition fights, which is the most important for most of the players. So in order to strategically use the best troops formation suitable for you, you need to understand three major factors that correlate with these troops formation. Number one, you need to know which troops can counter which troops so that you can formulate and strategize a formation that can counter enemy's troop ratio. Infantry is strong against lancers and weak against marksmen, and lancer can snipe marksmen but weak against infantry, and marksman is strong against infantry but weak against lancer. Number two, you need to know which troops ratio your enemy is using and their strongest rally leader's hero, Gears, who is a bonus source. This is really important. Always scout first in Sandfire Castle fights and Expedition PvP fights to know which troops ratio enemy is using and which hero gears they prioritize to find their weakness. For example, did they use popular troops ratio formation or do they use their own customized troops ratio formation? So the most popular troops formation ratio most of the people use are 50% infantry, 20% lancer, and 30% marksman for attack, and 60% infantry, 20% lancer, and 20% marksman for defense. There are two main reasons why these two ratios are very popular among the Whiteout Survival players. Number one, they are the most balanced ratios and hard to counter in the same level range of stats between your strongest rally leader and enemy strongest rally leader, especially if these two are probably in the same range of troop stats. For defense, generally, infantry are more important, and for attack, marksmen are more important, and lancers are all-rounders who are hybrid for both attack and defense. That's why you can see we put 60 infantry percent for defense and 30 marksman's ratio for attack. And number two reason is why these ratios are popular because people always tend to prioritize their infantry hero gear followed by marksman hero gear and the last lancer hero gears. So to use these popular troops ratio in the most efficient way for you and for Alliance, we need to discuss properly about hero gears, chief gears, and charms because the troops ratio needs to be customized around these things. Number one, you should always prioritize your infantry hero gear sets. First, infantry health gears, which are gloves and belt, followed by infantry lethality gears, boots and goggle. Many experienced players of Whiteout Survival will say infantry lethality gears are not important, they are useless, but that's only true for arena or exploration stage. Because in arena and exploration, you only need your infantry heroes as a tanker, so that your backline lancer and marksman heroes can do more damage. However, it's a little bit different for PvP purpose. Even though you need to prioritize infantry health gears first for PvP, you must also balance out your infantry lethality gears after that. Because you can see in the most popular troops ratio, either for attack or defense, these two ratios are heavily infantry based ratio. So if your infantries are stronger in both health stats and lethality stats than enemy infantries, your infantries can run their infantries over and crush their backline troops more easily. Especially in later stages, many people are using 60 infantry, 40 lancer and 0 marksman ratio for castle or turret defense. I think it's a really risky formation, but most people like to use this formation for later stages. However, if your infantry hero gear stats its balance in both health and lethality stats, it is very easy to counter that troop ratio. You just need to use more infantry based ratio than the enemy use, such as 80 infantry, 10 lancer, and 10 marksman percentage to counter that defense. Because your infantry has strong lethality stats and also strong health stats, your infantry will run over their infantry and their lancers because they do not have any marksmen to counter your infantry. Alright, let's talk about the next topic. So after infantry gears, the next discussion I would like to make is the marksman hero gear. Especially, generally, marksman lethality gear is more important because marksmen are more useful in attack. However, in my opinion, they are also somewhat useful in defense, especially for PvP. People are undermining the value of marksmen in defense. Marksmen are only weak in defense if your frontlines infantry and lancers are not strong enough to make a cover for them, or if your marksmen have very low health stats because you only prioritize your marksman's lethality gear and does not balance out the marksman's health gears. If your marksman has very low health stats, they can easily be sniped from enemy's lancers. So, even though marksman lethality gear is generally more important and needs to be prioritized first, however, you should also balance your marksman gear out with a level difference of between 10 to 20 levels from your marksman lethality gear. For example, if your marksman lethality gear is level 80, you should balance your marksman health gears to at least level 60 to 70 range. The most people who say marksmen are useless in defense are people who only focus the marksman's lethality gears and do not balance out the marksman's health gear. Because of that, the enemy's lancers can snipe their marksmen very easily, and their marksmen are the most dead in many battle reports. However, if you balance out your marksman health gear with 10 to 20 level difference to your marksman's lethality gear, the enemy lancers cannot easily snipe your marksman. And as long as your marksmen cannot be easily sniped by enemy lancers, these marksmen will destroy your enemy's infantry and your infantries will run their backline. Alright, so let's go to the next topic about Lancer hero gears. So actually in Whiteout Survival, the Lancer becomes automatically unpopular because of these popular troops ratio. Either for attack or defense, most people use more infantries and more marksman space ratio. So the Lancer becomes the last priority to upgrade in all types of aspects. For Lancer heroes, even though the Lancer lethality gears boots and goggles are more important for arena or exploration purpose, for PvP, you need to balance all Lancer gears for PvP purpose because they are all-rounders useful for both attack and defense. However, in the same logic, you should prioritize your Lancer lethality gear and also balance out your Lancer health gears with a level difference of 10 to 20 level difference to your Lancer lethality gear. For example, if your Lancer lethality gear is level 80, you should balance out your Lancer health gears to level 60 or level 70. Alright, let's go to the next topic. It is about the chief gear. So the troops ratio are also related to your chief gear stats. If you want to use these popular troops ratio, you should always prioritize 2 infantry chief gears by at least 1 star level ahead or 1 tier ahead, followed by Marksman's chief gear and Lancer's chief gears. However, for chief gear, you should slowly balance out all your chief gears for more extra troop stats. Alright, let's discuss about the chief charm area. So for chief charm, the same logic, you need to prioritize infantry chief charm by 1 level ahead, followed by marksman and lancer chief charms. By doing these all things, you can use these popular troops ratio 50% infantry, 20% lancer and 30% marksman for attack, and 60% defense, 20% lancer and 20% marksman for defense very efficiently, and it will be very useful. So alright, let's talk about a little bit of other troops formation ratios that I have seen some people use according to my experience. They are 40-20-40 ratio and 50-10-40 ratio for attack, which is heavily marksman space ratio. And another is for defense. I have seen people using 60-30-10 and 60-40-0 for defense, which is almost no marksman's ratio. So okay, now let's discuss about the troop formation ratio for Alliance Championship. For our Alliance, we always use 50-20-30 ratio for Alliance Championship because we feel like that's the most balanced ratio, which is hard to counter. I have seen other people also uses 60-20-20 or 60-30-30 from my experience. So far, the ratio we are using is really helpful for us, and we have never been out of top 3 in Alliance Championship event. So let's talk a little bit about troop formation ratio for bear event. For bear event, the marksman deals the most damage, so you need to use more marksmen depending on the amount of marksmen you have. For the starters, you can use 20-20-60 if your marksmen are not enough yet to go up to 10-10-80. 10% infantry, 10% lancer, and 80% marksmen is the best ratio for bear if you have enough marksmen. However, as I have explained and discussed above, there is no best troop ratio in Whiteout survival, because one troops ratio can counter another troops ratio, and also the troops ratio mainly depends on which hero gears, chief gears, and chief charms you have been prioritizing. And the most important thing is if your enemy strongest rally leader has more than 150 to 200% troop stats than your rally leader, no matter what troops ratio you use and they they will crush you with brute force by depending on their stats difference. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. And if you like this video and if you think it is very helpful and informative, please like and comment in my video, and also please subscribe to my channel for more contents about Whiteout survival, in-game events and game mechanics. Bye guys!